At some point in your life, a realization settles in, one that never fully leaves, that this experience you call your life, your thoughts, your memories, your sense of self, will one day come to an end. Much of our fear, our sorrow, and our quiet existential tension seems to trace back to this single realization that life can feel deeply meaningful, beautiful, and important. And yet, it does not last. We can imagine forever. We can speculate about infinity, but we are forced to live within the boundaries of a fragile, temporary body moving steadily toward an unavoidable end. Everything we build, everything we love, everything we struggle for exists on a short timeline, and one day it will all dissolve into silence. In this sense, self-awareness may feel like a curse. We stand at the seam between the infinite and the finite, able to long for eternity, yet confined to impermanence, able to dream beyond time, yet trapped inside a body that deteriorates with it. We cannot control this biological reality. We cannot escape the fact that our bodies are destined to expire. But perhaps there is something we can control, not the outcome, but the way we understand it, the way we frame death from within the life we are given. To explore this, consider something simple. A game you've played before, a video game, a board game, a sport. Why did you play it? Sure, the act of playing was enjoyable, but beneath that enjoyment was something else. An ending, a final score, a conclusion, a moment where the game would be over. Would the game still feel meaningful if it never ended? If there was no win, no loss, no final moment? Just endless continuation? Would you even play? The human mind seems to require an endpoint to generate meaning. Stories need conclusions, journeys need destinations, and life is no different. Whether we acknowledge it or not, everything we do unfolds toward an ending. Death is life's endpoint, and paradoxically, it may be the very thing that motivates us to play at all. Without death, would we feel compelled to leave something behind? To build careers, nurture families, or chase passions larger than ourselves? Would we strive to improve the world around us, to create art, explore ideas, or push technology forward? Would we pause to appreciate small moments, a quiet morning, a shared laugh, a fleeting sense of wonder? Or would time stretch so endlessly that meaning slowly evaporates? Perhaps mortality is not just an ending, but a framing device, a boundary that gives shape to our existence. Because life is temporary, it becomes precious. Because moments vanish, they matter. Ironically, death may be the very thing that motivates us to cherish life so deeply. And because we cherish life so deeply, we fear death with such intensity. The two exist in a strange feedback loop, each giving the other its power. This is not to say that we should welcome death or pretend it does not frighten us. It does. Many of us, perhaps all of us, would choose eternal life if it were truly offered, with full awareness intact. The desire to continue experiencing, learning, and loving is natural. But as long as we are human, as long as we are bound to a finite body and an approaching endpoint, we may find some peace in understanding death's role rather than only resisting it, not as something to celebrate, but as something to contextualize. They say it's not the destination that matters, but the journey. And that's true. But a journey, by definition, needs a destination. Otherwise, it's just endless motion, without urgency, without direction, without meaning. Perhaps life is meaningful because it ends. And perhaps the quiet tragedy of mortality is it's also its hidden gift.